up, guys? Got Dave here, and I wanted to talk about bike problems, like when your bike's not running good. And very rarely is it the engine. Even if it seems like it's the engine, it's not the actual engine. And let me explain what I mean. Is like all of a sudden, like if my bike doesn't start, I don't think to myself, oh no, something's wrong with the piston or the rod or the crank or the cam or any of that. No, it's usually not ever a mechanical issue all of a sudden. And I learned that like a long time ago when I was a little kid, because anytime like one of our old cars or old motorcycles wouldn't start, the first thing you do is you check to see if it's got spark. And you pull the spark plug wire off, pull the spark plug out, put the spark plug back into the wire, and you touch it on the side of the head, and then you turn it over. Either kick it over or hit the starter button and see if the spark plug goes tick, 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 and has spark. That's the first thing you check, is to see if it's got spark. And if it's got spark, then you're like, okay, then it's not getting gas. Usually everything mechanically is going to be fine. You know, like your pistons and everything is going to be fine, like all the metal parts. But it'll either not be getting spark or not be getting gas. And I recently bought that Yamaha R5 in 1972, and I thought that it would be cool. You know, it'd be like a classic old bike, and it would be fun to have an old classic bike. And boy, was I wrong. I basically bought someone's nightmare is what I did when I bought this bike. Because everything that could possibly be wrong with the bike, it was wrong with the bike. And I'm not talking about the actual engine, because that was fine. It runs smooth, makes good power, it gets excellent gas mileage, and it doesn't have any vibrations like it's worn out or out of balance or anything like that. And oftentimes that's the case in my experience. It's not the actual engine, it's the life support system. It's the life support system for that engine. You know, and by that I mean the air and fuel, which is like the carburation or the injection, and the spark, which is the ignition. So that it's one of the two. It's either you're not getting gas or you're not getting spark. Yeah, I just wanted to insert this in the video, let you guys know what happened when I bought the R5. It was from a guy in Arizona, and I was watching the bike for a while, you know, like on Craigslist, and it looked good. I looked at the pictures of it. It looked like it was in really good shape. It looked like it had been really well taken care of, and as well as having like the tuned pipes, you know, and you know, having like reed valves, and like the guy had done a few mods to it, so it was a little bit better than stock. And so I was watching it for a while, and the price kept getting lower and lower, because he was trying to sell it for probably half a year or so that I saw before I bought it. And finally, like after half a year, I called him. The price got down low enough that I thought that it was fair. And I called him, and I was like, yeah, I want to buy your bike, but I'm out here in California. And I didn't tell him I had a trailer or anything. I just said, you know, I have no way of getting out there, and so I'll buy it for what you're asking, but that is going to have to include you bringing the bike to me. So that's up to you. You know, the deal is on your plate now, and you decide what you want to do. You know, if you want the money for the bike, then you drive that thing out to California, and I will buy it from you. And he's like, okay, you know. And so I PayPal'd him like a $500 deposit, you know, just to kind of, you know, let each other know that we were serious, you know, so that he would make the drive. And he came out, and he had it on a trailer, and first kick, man, the thing fired right up, ring, 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 and dude, it was perfect. And I was like, heck yeah. And the thing looked all nice and shiny and perfectly well taken care of. And I gave him the money for it, and we did the paperwork, and I pulled the thing off the trailer, and he took off. And I went inside, and I grabbed my gas can, and I filled the bike up, and I grabbed my helmet, and I was like, heck yeah, man, I'm gonna take my brand new bike out for a ride. And I took it out for a ride, and I got 2 miles from home, and it crapped out on me, and I actually had to push it home 2 miles. and I took the thing apart. Like I took the tank off, and I took the headlight out, and I started looking at all the wiring, and I found a couple of spots in the wiring that I thought were like shorts. And so I fixed those, and it seemed like it ran again. And so I took it out, and then this time I got about 6 miles from home and had to push it home. And not happy, dude. It's not a good experience when you have to push a bike home. And dude, it sucks. Especially like a brand new bike. You know, at that point I'm like, dude, I want my money back. I totally got ripped off, and I'm pissed, you know? Like, I obviously didn't get a nice, well taken care of bike, you know? Like, I bought a problem. And so I thought I had it fixed again, and it still wouldn't run right. And so my buddy's dad ended up taking a look at it, and he's like real good with bikes and stuff. He's like real, like he used to own a dealership and stuff. And so he took a look at it and actually ended up figuring it out. And he likes working on bikes so much, he's like, man, he's like, you should buy this and buy that, and I'll put this stuff on for you. And I'm like, all right, you know. And so I start buying everything for it, you know, like I did all my research. I got like all like the stock size jets for it and everything, and started like giving everything to him, and he was just putting stuff on left and right. And before you know it, like every part on the bike is new now. All the intake is new, and all the ignition is new, brand new. I put probably close to $1,500 into that bike, but now it runs good, and it seems like it's reliable. And I've actually taken it up to the rock store and back a couple of times. I've ridden it, I don't know, 300 miles or so probably now, and it feels like it's good. It feels like everything's okay with it, and it feels like it's fixed again, and it feels like it runs like brand new. I mean, it's really a fun bike to ride now. But man, it was a shaky beginning. Yeah, and like I said in my other video, I bought it back in November, dude, like the beginning of November. I've had that bike for 9 months. That, you know, like the first couple of months I was fighting with it, and then for half a year my neighbor's dad had it, and he was working on it. So it's, dude, it's just been, it wasn't like I bought a nice classic bike that was well taken care of. It's like I bought somebody's nightmare, and I have now restored that bike. You know, like I honestly didn't think I was buying a project bike like that, and that's what it turned out to be. Let me know what you think about all that. You know, let me know what your experience has been. You know, have you actually ever gone out and you go to start your bike and it doesn't start, and so you take it to the shop and they're like, yeah, your crank's broken or you know, your valve is messed up, or it's like, that has never been my experience. So let me know, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.